I never thought I would see Madam in that condition. Helpless, broken, begging for mercy. Life has a strange way of turning tables. Growing up, I spent years in Madam's house as a silent observer. I was just a neighbor's child, always running errands for her. But I saw things that still haunt me. Lucy, the house help, was treated worse than a stray dog. She was always working, scrubbing floors, washing clothes, cooking meals, and never once did I see her eat at the same time as the family. When Madam called her, it was always with a sharp voice. When she made a mistake, punishment followed swiftly. A slap, a push, sometimes worse. If food was left over, she could eat. If not, she went hungry. But no one cared. One evening, I heard something that made my stomach turn. I had gone to return a bowl Madam borrowed from my mother. As I got to the door, I heard Lucy crying inside. "Please, Madam," she sobbed. "I haven't eaten since yesterday. Are you mad?" Madam's voice was sharp, cutting through the walls. "You think food is free in this house? Finish your work first." Then came the sound of something hard hitting flesh. I froze. I wanted to knock, to do something, but fear held me back. I saw Lucy the next day, her eyes swollen, her lips dry. She didn't complain. She just walked. But I knew, deep down, she was praying for a way out. Years passed, and one day, Lucy was gone. Just like that. No goodbye, no explanation. Madam just got another girl, and life moved on. People whispered that Lucy ran away. Some said she had been taken in by someone who treated her well. Others believed she had died in the streets. But no one cared enough to ask. In Madam's house, house helps were just tools, replaceable and disposable. If one left, another desperate girl from the village would take her place. I often wondered about Lucy. Was she alive? Was she happy? I wanted to believe that she had found a better life, but deep inside, I feared the worst. Madam continued with her life, proud and arrogant. She flaunted her wealth, looked down on those beneath her, and treated house helps as less than human. But life has a way of repaying debts. And Madam was about to learn that the hard way. Then, life happened to Madam. Her business crumbled. Her husband left her for a younger woman. Her children moved abroad and barely called. The friends she once dined with no longer answered her messages. One by one, everything she built slipped from her fingers. It started slowly, a failed investment here, a lost client there. Then, one day, she had nothing. The mansion she once owned was taken by the bank. She moved into a tiny one-room apartment, struggling to feed herself. The same woman who once starved her house help now knew the pain of hunger. I had heard rumors about her downfall, but I never saw her until one evening. I was coming back from work when I noticed a figure crouched by the roadside, struggling to lift a broken basket of oranges. I almost walked past, but something made me stop. It was Madam. Her fine clothes were gone, replaced by rags. Her once proud face was tired, sunken. I stood there, stunned, as she turned to me, her eyes filled with shame and desperation. "Please, help me," she whispered, her voice no longer sharp, no longer filled with pride. I looked at her for a long moment, remembering the woman she used to be. The one who never showed mercy. Before I could react, another figure stepped forward from the shadows. "Lucy," She was dressed well, looking strong and confident. Madame's eyes widened in shock. Her lips trembled, and tears filled her eyes. It was as if she couldn't believe that the girl she once starved and beat was now standing before her, offering kindness. Lucy bent down and helped Madame lift the basket. There was no bitterness in her eyes, no triumph in her voice. She simply said, "Let's go, Madame. You need food." That day, I learned something I will never forget. Life turns. And sometimes, the people you step on are the very ones who will lift you up when you fall. Kindness lasts longer than cruelty.